Good YouTube gonna be react to Wannabe comedian first apologize after walking off the
George
podcast. Let's
Janko.
go.
He's the third mic on Logan Paul's podcast, and it's been that way for the last year and a half or so. And as you guys already know, this guy George is softer than Charmin toilet paper.
My hand is clean.
I don't know if people find him funny, bro. I really don't know how people find him funny.
Comedian to have. Don't get me wrong. On the inside, a lot of these comedians are deeply insecure and even offbeat. But on the outside, especially when faced with another well-respected comedian, they better get ready for a bit of a roast battle. Especially when they're in a setting where they're trying to entertain an audience.
Bro, you look like a mechanic from Nordstrom Rack, dude. That's the fucking problem, dude. You're like, damn, I didn't know Nordstrom Rack did tires, you know?
And for those of you that missed the last video, basically veteran comedian Bobby Lee came on Logan's podcast and made George have a meltdown over a couple of innocent jokes at his expense.
Bro, let me just say, I'm warning you right now, don't fucking touch me. Okay. I'm a fucking celebrity. Bro, look at my IMDb. Anyway, I'm kidding, you can touch me. Is that your girlfriend? You know, it's so weird. Without
bro, this dude looks gross, bro. This dude looks, yeah. This just looks like a trash can.
And as you guys know now, this eventually led.
Look at how he looks, bro. Look at how he painted his nails, painting his foot. Dude, disgusting. Having his stomach all out and shit.
The podcast mid-show and taking an Uber home while crying and thinking about his life.
You know, the Beatles could have lost Ringo. Oh, yeah.
To me, this is one of the softest things I've ever seen. Bobby wasn't
ugly
even going hard at this man at all. And if George had done even the slightest amount of research, he would know this is almost always how this guy shows love. He's constantly roasting the shit out of his friends and contemporaries. It's honestly what makes him funny is that he never takes any moment too seriously.
You're good looking and ugly at the same time. Right? At certain angles, like, he could be good looking. And at certain angles, you're like, no, he's ugly. And your body, though, is so, it's like a buff pinto bean.
The other big thing is that all George really had to do was roast him back, because Bobby has some very public, easy material against him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still doing this show with his ex-girlfriend who is constantly embarrassing the shit out of him. Either way, that all transpired. It was a big deal online. And so George responded in a very passive-aggressive apology to the audience.
I can't apologize the fact that, like, when I'm watching these kids comment what they're commenting, in my mind I'm like, ooh, I'm in your head.
Oh no,
you got her heel. It gave me a superpower, bro. It made me realize, like, oh, I really don't care. Before I would say I don't care, and now I'm watching, I'm like, ooh, I do care. I want it.
No, you do care, because if for real. Now you do care, because if you mess up a lot of people, like if you mess up a lot of people intention about you, people start hating you for real, in every other podcast. Obviously, Logan go throw your ass and go bring up a third host, and that's about it.
Want to be in their heads more. Like, I like it.
And now Logan came to be on Bobby's podcast, Tiger Belly, and we, the audience, discovered that George never even apologized to Bobby.
What happened with George?
Why would he apologize to him? I don't see a reason for him to apologize to him.
Yeah, this is what I want to get to the bottom line. So I want to say something. Number one, he hasn't reached out to me. Number two,
I told him to. He didn't.
Number one, I don't even know what the fuck I did. And number two, why did he leave?
Logan from here immediately took Bobby's side when it came to this dispute over who was wrong.
Of course, Logan gonna take Bobby's side, because he knows George gonna ride off and come back to him, and he won't say nothing, and he gonna take the side of the dude that sounds like he's on the right side. I don't know if I made any sense, but if a dude doesn't stand up with his brothers and most of his choices, then he won't stand with one of his friends, bro. That's an obvious thing.
Bobby, it was his fault.
Yeah, Bobby was his bro. This dude is an NPC,
Bobby, you were right.
bro.
You were right, and don't let my audience get to you, bro. They can be.
I understand.
Specific.
Is he like the softie of the show?
Yes. But that's why he's on the show. That's why he's on the show.
Right.
You don't know that. You don't know that. That's why he's there.
It's funny that the reason he says George is actually on the show is to be soft and sensitive, rather than to be the comedian providing funny moments.
Damn, yeah, that's a good point, Jamari. Didn't think about it in that way. That's a good point, Jamari. Hey, bro, you got good apprehensive skills, bro.
Personality, I'm a chic gentleman. You know what I'm saying? I don't play no games anymore. I'm an adult. You know, I got wifey back at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Mom and dad are proud of me. I pay my taxes, all right? I diverse my portfolio.
Oh, brother, this guy.
In reality, he's really just there to interject with religious questions that make guests uncomfortable.
Yeah, bro. I didn't really get it with all his religious questions, bro. It's not that they are not good questions for people to start thinking about them. Most of the time, I don't know his approach, because one episode he says that he's agreeing with everything. Another episode he says that he's a follower of his God. I don't know if he reads his book or not, but a lot of the stuff that he's doing, his God does not approve of, and he does not approve. So I don't really get him, bro. And he comes up with the most cringiest religious questions, whereas these people do not care about no religion, bro. It's so straightforward that these people do not care about no religion, bro. If they cared about religion, they wouldn't be in your podcast from the first place. So I don't get this dude, bro.
Thing is that everyone was getting roasted during that podcast and taking it in stride. It's not like George was being singled out until he made himself such an easy target.
I thought it was funny. He was in jest, and you're with the comedian. You got to be willing to go from A to B to C.
And then Bobby continues to talk about how weak of a move this was for George to walk out mid-podcast.
If this guy right here walked out on a guest, he would be reprimanded.
How?
2-month suspension.
Oh, whoa.
Walking out on a guest, I would feel.
Yeah, bro. This dude is like putting stuff into Logan's mind. You know what I'm saying? That energy, you know what I'm saying, so that George kicks the hell out of the show. And George right now is on his phone watching this, and he's like, he got sweat in his forehead. You know what I'm saying? He got a sweat in his forehead. He didn't even realize it until it touched his lip, because of how nervous he is.
So much shame.
Yeah.
It would have been like, oh, it's over. But him walking out was just kind of like, let's keep going.
He apologized on the episode of Impulsive that's coming out tomorrow. He was.
That's interesting.
He was regret.
Never really apologized to me though.
Which
That's interesting.
shocks me because I told him to reach out. I said,
Why would he apologize to you, bro? I don't get these personal.
you should reach out to Bobby.
This is when they decide to FaceTime George live because he could never even
If they FaceTime, bro, you're gonna see the most pathetic apology that you've ever heard about. How much you gonna bet that he gonna say that he loves him? How much you gonna bet?
And up
Let's
and
listen.
apologize to the
Let's
guests
listen.
for fucking up their show. That's how you know sensitive George still feels slighted about this whole experience. Like, I bet he stays up late night watching the footage back over and over again, like me when they said Dez didn't catch that fucking ball. So either way, Logan calls him, puts Bobby on the phone, and from there, we get this apology that rivals the Liver King.
I want to apologize for my behavior on your podcast. I feel like I was a little...
Bobby Lee, you shut your mouth. I'm apologizing to you. I left you. You were our guest. And I left you, Bobby. I will forever regret that for the rest of my fucking life.
I bet he's gonna say he loves
I
him.
would lay my head on that pillow and not know that I disappointed a prince that does stand up like you. Do you have any idea how ashamed of myself I am?
Wow.
Oh my God.
But I want to pull back my apology then. Because I too, because I literally did not feel sorry.
I swear, Bobby Lee is too fucking hilarious. The fact that he took back
I don't
his
know about that one,
apology
Jamari.
was amazing because he really didn't do a damn thing to sensitive George. And it was also a great way to break the ice, disarm George's feelings, and not have to demand an apology outright. But don't you guys get it twisted, he's still out here roasting his ass.
If you would have came and punched me in the face, I would have said thank you.
Yeah, and I gave you compliments. I called you a fat Oscar Isaac. That was good.
And then Bobby does the good big brother thing and explains to George that it's okay for him to take aim at himself as well.
And let's have a relationship where we can rip on each other.
Overall, I would say this whole interaction was a W for everyone involved. Bobby clearly felt bad for making him walk, and in his own way told him it's all gonna be okay. As for George, I hope he learned a valuable lesson here.
Good video, Jamar. See you next time.